Where politics meets common sense. This is Nightcaps with Nate.
All right, we should be going live. It's saying going live. Go ahead, check. And we should be live now. All right, let me get my intro going.
Coming to you live from just outside the swamp of the nation's capital. Get ready for invigorating talk, commentary, and debate on the issues affecting your life. Grab your favorite drink. It's Nightcaps with Nate. Now, here's Nate.
All right, so hopefully everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, make sure that you can. Okay, I see Amber. Amber, hello. Let me know if you can hear me. All right, so welcome to the show. Today I have my beautiful wife on. It's a Sippin Saturday, so I have a very special beer for today and a little cooler of them. Now this right here is called Kellerweiss. It is from Sierra Nevada, so it's supposed to be like a Hefeweizen, which is my favorite beer from Germany. So hopefully it is like Hefeweizen. I'm gonna pop it open. I'm gonna pour it. Willie, what are you drinking?
Oh, that good old Michelob Ultra.
Good old Michelob Ultra, yummy water beer.
Yeah, I gotta keep up with my water.
Is that part of your gallon intake of water every day? Whitley's on this trial to drink a gallon of water every day. So apparently this must be that. I don't know if that counts, Boo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is water beer, so maybe we can
Definitely
say that counts.
One whole pack of Michelob Ultra, that's close, and it helps me get closer to my goal.
Excellent. Amber says that she's on her way to my brother's house. Which brother would that be?
Ooh.
So, if you haven't, if you're not driving, obviously, and you're on a PC, go ahead and do a little start a watch party on this thing. Let's see how many viewers we can get today. Today is that day where we get to talk about all different news stories, and it's live, it's interactive, so you can put your comments in there. If I don't see comments, I'll just keep doing my own commentary, because you know me, I like to talk anyways. Right now I'm actually starting my own little live party and maybe a Trump group. Let's see. Come on.
Started my watch party.
You did?
Yeah.
Who'd you start it with?
Oh, myself.
Yourself? Sounds nice. Maybe I'll start it on myself too.
Mm-hmm.
Start watch party. And it's about to begin, it says, so other people can join.
Amber's going to Heimer's house.
All right, we should be going live. Oh, Lord.
You better turn that down.
I sure did. It's a little bit of a break there. So you're going to not driving. Her husband is going to go visit my brother. William is actually a very cool guy to visit. I actually like sitting around shooting the shit. I don't know if he drinks anymore, but he is a hoot to hang out with. And so, well, the reason why we decided to do a Sippin Saturday, it was supposed to be cloudy and cold today, but it's actually somewhat sunny and going to be 62. So I might have accidentally gave up golf for this. So you guys better love me and my wife, because we don't get a lot of days off. Willie only gets every other weekend off.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not too bad of a Hefeweizen for American beer. Not the best I've
This
ever
isn't
had.
too bad of a Michelob Ultra for water beer.
Yeah, Michelob Ultra is always bad. There's never a good Michelob Ultra, ever.
No, it's actually really good. I have become accustomed, and I tried that new the new Blue Moon Light. That's supposed to be competing, and I don't really like it compared to Michelob. It's too like orangey, so it's like orangey water.
Yeah, it's like when they drop a lemon in a water.
Yeah,
that's supposed to replace Kool-Aid. Back when I was a kid, I was like, no, that doesn't replace Kool-Aid.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what it is.
Right, they're trying to sex it up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our first news of the day. So remember, today is not a produced show. This is a on the whim show. So hopefully you enjoy it like last Saturday. Last Saturday, my throat got so dry after 2 hours of talking, I said I had to have a co-host on. So here we go. Whoops, wrong thing. Sorry about that. Let's go here to this. All right, so the data is in. An epidemiologist from... No, he's not. He's a neurologist. a neuroradiologist at Stanford University Medical Center, so not exactly a schmuck, says that, hey, the data is in, stop the panic, end the total isolation. I'm in between on this, but he says there are 5 key facts that are being ignored by those calling for continued near total lockdown, mostly Democrats. Fact one, the overwhelming majority of people do not have any significant risk of dying from COVID-19. We know at worst, based on certain current studies, it's probably about a 0.5% chance of death, which is a few times larger than a flu outbreak. Secondly, fact two, protecting older at-risk people eliminates hospital overcrowding. Truth. Lock them away, lock grandpa away, grandma away. Fact 3, vital population immunity is prevented by total isolation policies prolonging the problem. Yes, when you flatten the curve, you are not eliminating the illness. What you are doing is prolonging the epidemic. And that is vital for 2 reasons. One huge reason is that we don't overload our medical care system. So far, it has not been overloading, so I think we're going to be fine there. But when we release people in the next couple weeks, that's how we got to do it. Let the young out first, and the middle people that aren't immunocompromised, get them out there. Fact 4, people are dying because other medical care is not getting done due to hypothetical projections. I saw a story in the UK and here in the United States that up to 80% of vital brain surgeries had to be canceled or postponed. Now, I don't know about you, but if you have a small tumor on your brain, I'd probably want to get it out before it grows and starts really getting deep into tissue, because then it's incurable. So that might be a vital thing. Let's get people back into surgeries. Plus, a lot of people who say found a lump on their breast or a lump in their testicles or a weird patch of skin. You know how fast malignant tumors and skin cancer can grow. It can explode and get really bad really quick. Okay, so 4, 5, 6 weeks of lockdown could really prevent you from getting that. So they're saying, hey, yeah, we're counting the deaths of actual coronavirus, but are we counting the deaths that are going to happen because we've shut down our medical system? Fact number 5, and finally, we have a clearly defined population at risk who can be protected with targeted measures. Yes, we do. We could target that. And what they're saying is, hey, let's open up the economy. And later you're going to see on a different news story that we are probably expected to have we're expected to have unemployment at over 10%. That's huge. Okay, remember, unemployment before this thing was 3-point-something%. 10 to 12% unemployment all the way through 2021 because of this shutdown. Never in my life have I seen that we shut down this much of our economy. We've pretty much shut down everything but Walmart and Target. Shout out to Walmart and Target. That's been my sanity. Here.
But it's still like dirty. I mean, Target's doing a really good job, but Walmart, I went in there the other day and it's filthy.
Yeah, you can never accuse Walmart of being a clean shop. It is nasty. Even during the coronavirus, they're usually out of cart wipes. You go into Target and it's a night and day difference, man. You go into Target and they have doubled the personnel working.
You can smell the sanitizer as you walk in the store.
Not only are they cleaning it in front of you with bleach, but they actually offer you hand wipes to also clean it yourself if you want. You take it, you go through the store, the store is meticulously clean, everything is clean. You go to check out, and before you're allowed to touch the pad, they wipe it down, and after you touch the pad, they wipe it down for you with bleach. I mean, they got it going on. I think Walmart has a lot to learn about the difference between Target and Walmart. That's why I'm surprised Target never took off like with the big grocery stores and stuff. They should be the replacement of Walmart. They find a way to have pretty decent, they're usually about...
They're still more expensive. That's why people go to Walmart.
Okay, 2% more expensive? Hey, I'll take the 2 or 3% more expensive for...
Yeah, but that's depending on your circumstance. You know, like, if you don't have a lot of money and you don't really care about having, like, super wonderful things that just get you by, you know, like bed sheets, for instance. Target, your bed sheets are going to be probably 10% more than bed sheets at Walmart. Yeah. Granted, they last you longer, but if you don't have the money or the means and the time, then...
Yeah, remember, and also, I mean, it's a clientele too. I mean, remember those, like, you walk by people in Walmart and sometimes they just smell like cat pee and just nastiness. Right? Remember that?
Remember like a couple weeks ago? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And of course, Whitley has no filter.
This guy, I couldn't help it. I do have a filter. I kind of say what's on my mind right away, and I don't really think about it. But I walked past this guy, and I literally just took the biggest whiff of him, and it was horrible. And I work in nursing, okay? I'm used to like smelling like crap, but this was awful. It was horrible body odor, and there's no excuse. Like, you cannot have money, but you can still be clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that guy's, but you didn't have to embarrass. You're like, oh my God, what's that smell? And
I didn't say it in front of him.
You said it around him.
I said it after he walked by because it was bad. It was just my first reaction.
Well, but that was my point. If you come from that kind of nasty living condition, then when you go to Walmart, it probably does feel kind of clean. So it's all relative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, I prefer that. Amber says people don't care how nasty they are when they shop at Walmart. You get some real weirdos there. Yeah, they have a whole website called People of Walmart for a reason. I mean, it is a whole different demographic. In fact, it's kind of depressing sometimes. Even before this virus, I was like, man, this is the future of America, you know, especially here in West Virginia. It's if you want to see the community that you're about to move into, find the local Walmart and go. And that will show you the worst of the community that you're about to live. So if you go there, it's like, oh, this isn't too bad. Then you're probably picking a nice community to move into.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't unhide that.
I've been to like some of the nicer Walmarts, like in nicer cities, and they're not as bad, you know. Well, like remember like Minneapolis, when we lived in Minneapolis, and they had a nicer Walmart there, like closer. It was like in Bloomington, I think, but
right. It
was actually kind of fancy.
But the brand new ones are nicer, anyways. You know, they didn't use the white tile floors; they used those big tile floors.
Yeah.
And they didn't use they instead of shorter ceilings, they went to higher ceilings. I mean, Walmart was really the big disruptor of Kmart. Kmart used to be the thing, and Walmart turned Kmart on its head. And so, and Kmart was unionized like Meijer is up in the north, and so Walmart was able to compete more, usually by
Meijer. I hate Meijer.
Really, I didn't mind Meijer. Meijer is cleaner than Walmart.
I'd rather go to Walmart than Meijer.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I just hate their layout. It's like a horrible. I don't know. I just never got into Meijer. Remember, we lived in Ohio and they had Meijer.
I think it's actually Myers. It comes from Fred Myers. He was a socialist that came over from Holland or somewhere over there. Amber says,
my dad says he's taking a shower.
Thanks.
Okay, Dad.
Thank you. Thanks for posting that for the whole world to see. I worked at Flint Walmart for 4 years, and I have seen some stuff. I bet you have. God bless you if you worked there for 4 years. Whitley worked there for about 3 weeks, I think.
That was when we first got married.
Yeah. All right, so latest coronavirus numbers are going to look a little scarier than normal, but they're not that bad. Let me show them to you. The reason why you're seeing a spike in the daily new cases is because we're testing a lot more people. Okay? But if you look over to daily deaths, which is sad, and I wish that they would show the daily hospitalizations because that's even better. But the numbers are actually going way down. Yesterday, we actually came back down below that 2,000 a day mark, which is what the models are showing us. I think that's awesome. Thank God that we're coming down. Yesterday, I posted this as well. If you look at per capita deaths by country, the United States has moved down to number 15. I know it says 16 there, but that's because row one has been taken. So we're at 15. We have 152 deaths per million people, which is significantly insignificant. Statistically insignificant. Let's just say that didn't sound right. Statistically insignificant. Okay. Per capita cases by country, and we are testing more. We actually, out of the top 5 largest countries, we have tested more than anybody. But we are down to number 17. And if you live in a blue state, look all the way to the right there, you are more likely to die than in a red state. Why? I say it's preparedness. I say we have better government. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not. New York is the only one that has an excuse, in my opinion, because of New York City, where everybody lives on top of each other. But the rest of you guys, shame on you. New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Louisiana, and especially Michigan. Not shame on you voters. Well, shame on you voters for electing Whitmer, but shame otherwise on the government of Michigan. But she did come and finally relax the restrictions. I think she saw the writing on the wall. Her popularity is going to start tanking. So now they're The restrictions are going till May 15th, I think is what she said, but you are allowed to go motorboating. I don't know why you never could. And you can golf as long as you walk and don't use a cart, which I think is kind of stupid because here in West Virginia, they are doing carts, but it's one person per cart. Awkward silence.
Good stuff, Nate. Good stuff.
I think that was my.
I don't know why you can't golf. I think it's silly. I mean, I've been golfing the last 2 weeks, and it's not like you're like jumping on each other.
No, it's not football.
I get closer to people at work than.
Well, you're a healthcare practitioner, but in Virginia, which is a Democrat-led state, and in West Virginia, you can golf as long as you have one person per cart. Unless you're from the same family or household, then you can have 2 people per cart. I think that's pretty common sense. Not too bad.
No.
Not too bad. All right, let's see what's up next. All right, so this I think is pretty bad. So let's just say that you are an African-American Democrat in either Georgia or Michigan, and you come out and actually say something positive about your president, our president. Regardless if you liked him, when Obama was president, he was our president, okay? What happens to them? Well, they get censored by their own party or forced to try to resign. So, in Michigan, disgusting Michigan Democrats will censor Democrat who credited Trump for saving her life. Basically, she had coronavirus. Said, hey, thanks, Trump, for pushing this hydroxychloroquine. But because that doesn't feed the Democrat and the media narrative, she is being censored for thanking the president. I don't know how you can be censored in the state legislator for that, but you know what? Maybe she should switch parties. Maybe her party has left her in common sense. And then Vernon Jones. He's a representative in the Atlanta area. Yesterday, I announced my intention to resign from office. He said because his family was getting threats and all types of stuff, he was actually going to resign, but he's decided, hey, I'm not going to allow the Democrats to bully me into submission. I will not allow it. And they are now saying, or he is now saying that I will not resign. I will not be bullied. He's not going to change parties, he said. He's a Democrat, but he feels like the party is leaving him.
Good job. He shouldn't. That's ridiculous.
Nobody ever censors Mitt Romney when he comes out against our president. Or
nobody censors anybody when they come out against Trump.
But the Republicans haven't done it to Justin Amash or any of them. I mean, he switched his party to independent anyways, but why? I mean, why are we that intolerant? In fact, I thought the left was the party of tolerance and differing views, and it was a big tent party, and you know they used to have pro-life Democrats and pro-gun Democrats, but the party has shifted so far to the left that I fear that they're just going to lose. They're going to lose out all their people.
They started losing people when they screwed over Bernie the first time, though, because Bernie Sanders would have won that, probably come very close to winning that election against Trump the first time around. And then they bully him into endorsing Hillary Clinton. Yeah. And then they just did it again to Joe Biden.
Yeah, I know they have that disconnect, but you know what? The Bernie bros are a-holes. The Bernie bros, they're just as bad at not allowing. Bernie probably could have won because of his populist message, but the problem with Bernie is that his supporters, not so much him, but his supporters do not allow they are so woke that they do not allow. They're the most intolerant group of supposed tolerant liberals that you will ever meet. Go to any college campus as a conservative and see what happens to you.
Oh no, I've seen like tons of videos, people like snatching flags out of their hand. The best are when like the flag snatchers are like arrested and stuff.
I like it too.
Flag. All over a flag.
I hope it was worth it, right?
I never remember, like when Obama was president, I never remember seeing like Republicans going and snatching flags off people's houses.
Of course not. Now there were some super patriotic person that when somebody was trying to burn a flag, they would go over there and snatch the flag from them from being burned. Okay, while
burning the flag.
Okay, but it's still their free speech right to do so.
I guess.
Okay. Now, I don't like it. I don't ever want to see it, but, it's still free speech, and I'm a free speech conservative. I'm a libertarian who happens to vote Republican most of the time. All right. The Trump show is ending. It is canceled. Donald Trump walks out of White House coronavirus briefing after just 22 minutes and refuses to take a single question. A day after his disinfectant disaster. Okay. And Trump's clean getaway. That's because the disinfectant thing. Bottom line, Trump did step on his message by asking a stupid question, but it wasn't that stupid. Come to find out, what he was asking, according to Dr. Birx, was he was briefed in the Oval Office about how we can oxidize and send it into the bloodstream or through a catheter, and we can literally disinfect the lungs. And he was saying, oh, can we disinfect the lungs? I mean, it kills it in 1 minute. Well, of course, the liberal and the media jumped on it and said that, oh, you're going to try to shoot Lysol down there or bleach, and all these memes came out, and of course we would do it. We would have done it to the left. So I think I love memes regardless if they're left or right. But
the memes were hilarious.
They were. They showed like a Clorox drip going in. Another one
No,
had
a
Lysol
I saw one.
Jewel or something.
I saw one, a Lysol inhaler last night.
Oh, I saw an inhaler.
And then I remember the one I sent you was like Clorox tablets or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Regardless, memes are funny.
Memes are funny. And I'm equal opportunity on memes. Send me your memes. Nate@nightcapsnate.com. Nate@nightcaps with a S, Nate.com. Yes, I do. Facebook made me set up my own URL and email in order to be able to run advertisement because they call me a political organization. Don't get it, but that's just the life we live in, man. The censorship of Facebook.
Do you understand how long it's taken us just to like boost any post or anything like that?
It's been crazy. It's been crazy. And now
it's been horrible.
Now we're growing by leaps and bounds. We went from less than 200 followers yesterday to over 315 or 320 today because we were able to get the message out there. Hey, make sure that you go to my Nightcaps with Nate. You can Google search it on YouTube and make sure that you like it. We are up at finally past the 50 mark. It has been the most elusive thing because most of the things we're doing is right here on Facebook. But I'm also trying to get it on YouTube as well. I need 100 followers. So if you see in this video now or later when I repost it, hey, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. I need to get to 100 so I can get a thing. If you notice on the screen today, I have my contact stuff like Nightcap Nate with Twitter and all that stuff on there. And I'd like to get one for YouTube, but I don't want to post this long, drawn out URL when I can have a custom made one at 100 subscribers. So make sure that you go and do that, and then share all these videos, man. I think we have something good going on here. We take a lighthearted take on the news and commentary every day. So anyways, going back.
It's fun. Everybody's doing fun stuff right now, live streaming.
It is.
Like I love seeing like all the DJs and stuff. They do like Saturday night mixes.
Yeah, that's cool. Also, hey, Robert, good to see you too, buddy. Robert Frey just commented on my personal page, and he is an old friend from school days, from the old school days. God, man, makes me feel old when I think about how long ago it was that I went to high school. Whitley's 10
Can
years
we get
younger
on
than me.
like a serious note really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Who did the Georgia Bulldogs
Oh, hey.
player go to the Lions?
DeAndre Swift went to the Lions. Yeah, love it. I am
Another
a diehard
Georgia
Lions.
boy. Shout out.
Yeah, hey, Matt Stafford and him will have something to talk about, right? Did they both went to Georgia?
Bondover. Yeah.
And then we got that, what's his name, Oduka or Kuda? I always mess up his name, but he's from Ohio State as a Darius Slay replacement. So, hey, y'all can hate on the Lions all you want, but I'm a diehard Lions fan. Diehard. Tried and true. All right, so back to why Trump is canceling his show. Look, the guy's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. First, he doesn't meet the press enough, and now he's overmet the press, basically, and they're just beating him up. His ratings are actually going down. Not his ratings as in viewership, his approval numbers. I think he should hold it to about two pressers a week, and continue to do what you do. You know what? Be smarter about what you say off the cuff, but at the same time, take on the media. You are the first president, Mr. Trump, and I know you're probably not watching this, but you are the first president to actually take on the bias-ass media, and I love it. Keep doing it, baby. Keep doing it. All right, let's get into some politics also from Politico. By the way, that last story, I have to give attribution if it didn't have it on the slide. Let me see. I did not, but that was from the Daily Mail. Politico. First story, Biden's sexual assault allegation roils the Me Too movement. Crickets, haven't heard a thing about it hardly. And
you're not going to hear anything about it.
This reminds me of when Bill Clinton was going through this. Robert says you're not old, brother. Hey, Robert Frey, you know what? You're only saying that because you're as old as I am. So it makes us both feel better. That's cool.
But like 40s is kind of the new 30s though. And 30s is kind of the new 20s. Because let's be real. I'm 33 and I do not feel 33. I feel like I'm more like 28.
That's what old people say to make themselves feel better.
No, I really feel like that. But even when I was like 28, I felt like I was maybe still like in my 19, 20. Like, I don't know. I think it's like a good thing to feel young.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I don't want to feel old.
Whatever makes us all feel better, right? So, crickets. This reminds me, you're too, in fact, speaking of age, you are too young to really remember the Clinton administration. That's when they kind of reported. They would report that about Bill Clinton, all his sexual promiscuity and all that stuff, but they would kind of cover for it. Okay, so the media narrative, media bias is not just what you report, it's how much you report it and the kind of tone that you use and report it. If you're reporting Kavanaugh and Trump and everybody else is, oh, get them, pitchforks out, but then you're reporting, kind of forced to report about Biden, if you're reporting at all, or Bill Clinton back in the 90s, if you report at all, and then you kind of, well, and then the Republicans say, so when it's against the Republican or conservative, it's the people demand answers. When it's against the Democrats, well, the conservatives, their faction, they do demand answers. It's just a total different narrative, and that's what pisses me off. Just be fair. Look.
They don't even take conservatives into account, though.
We all know Biden's a creeper. He's a creep. I mean, I can show you picture after picture of him trying to feel up on little girls, and I was like, the dude's a creep. So, now there's a credible allegation from Tara Reid. And a little bit, I think in another slide a little bit later, we're going to see that her mom actually, they have an audio of her mom actually calling in on behalf of her daughter to Larry King Live back in the 90s saying, hey, what do you do if, she was asking for advice. What do you do if you're being sexually assaulted on Capitol Hill and all that stuff? And we'll get into that, but it's been corroborated way more than the Kavanaugh story, but yet crickets. You never hear about it. It just pisses me off.
Going to.
It just pisses me off. Being fair, that's all I'm asking. So, the Royals a Me Too moment. You know why? Because the Me Too movement was never a real movement about getting people off the streets or holding them accountable, except for maybe, who is that guy? The comedian up in what's his name? He was in Minnesota. Anyways, they got him out, but when it came to anybody else, or especially, they'll knock off a congressman or a senator. They will not knock off a presidential candidate because they know the stakes are high for them. But if they're really fair and they want to show that they are bipartisan, the Me Too movement has no choice but to go after Joe Biden himself. The guy is a creep. It's a credible allegation. It ruined Roy Moore's chance in the Alabama Senate replacement of Jeff Sessions. It has ruined almost ruined Brett Kavanaugh. Almost ruined Trump, but I don't remember the media being so quiet and silent when Trump was never accused of sexual assault. He was accused of sexual harassment. This is an accusation of actual sexual assault. And the media has stayed silent on it, and that is unforgivable. And then the next thing, Biden ad exposes a rift over China on the left. Why? Because the left is so woke, they didn't want to call this a Chinese virus. Well, the only line of attack that Biden has right now against the president that may work is his saying that Trump's not handling this, didn't take on China hard enough. First of all, let's refute that right away. Bush and Obama both campaigned on taking on China over manipulation of currency and stealing intellectual property. There's only been one president that actually did it, and that was Donald Trump. Okay? Second, nobody would take on China as much as Trump will after this epidemic. Biden is so beholden to the Chinese. His son got a job on a Chinese board making millions, just like he did on that Ukrainian board. In fact, Biden came out just a few months ago, and he probably doesn't remember it because he's got dementia, and said, hey, China is not our enemy. For all intents and purposes, besides maybe some trade, China is our enemy. Russia is our enemy. Iran is our enemy. Get over the pipe dream. Now, should we stop talking to people? No. I like how Trump has actually gone and spoke to the North Korean Kim Jong-un, which, by the way, I don't know how sick he is, but we're going to get into that a little bit too. But he's a creep. In fact, you have mommy sense. What senses do you have about Biden?
Oh, I wouldn't. Okay, first, let me just be real. I have a weird sense about people, anyways. So I would never let my child around Biden ever. But even like, okay, so I kind of think it's unforgivable that people put their children in that situation, anyways. Like, why? People get mad and people force their children to
Okay.
hug strangers and stuff. Don't put your kids around him if you like.
Okay, but it's at a presser, so most moms are like, oh, of course he wouldn't do anything on national TV, you know? But he
Why
kind of,
not?
but they kind of set their family up, and he kind of like squirms his way. If you notice, he squirms
Into the female.
Have you ever seen him actually squirm his way behind a male and put his arms on it?
No.
The only time I ever seen him whisper in somebody's ear was when he said, "This is a big effing deal" to Obama during the Obamacare thing. I mean, bottom line,
I think it's creepy.
That's how you can tell a creep. The guy never gravitates. The guy never gravitates towards males. And Robert says, "Screw that guy. You should be facing serious charges." Go, Robert, man.
You should.
You are 100% correct. That's that good old Flint area mentality. All right. According to Political, and this is where I call this wishful thinking journalism, the map is bigger now. Coronavirus rewires the 2020 election. I know exactly what they're going to try to say. Oh, because of Trump and how he's handled it, now certain states are in play. Remember during the Clinton-Trump 2016 election, Texas may be in play. Texas may be in play. And she
they
actually
did that with every state.
And surely Trump's not going to win. He just does not have the map. And then Trump ended up winning Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, states that we never thought. Listen, people, do not believe the polling at this point. They are suppressing the vote through polls. They do it every single thing. Right now, they're polling registered voters, which always skews left because registered voters, just because you're registered, everybody gets registered. When we went to the licensing division, they asked, hey, what's your party? And they register you. It's called motor voter. Everybody's registered. Likely voters is what you go out. And then on top of that, you want to look at the polling that they're doing. How many are they in most polls this early on? They're going to underrepresent the Republican sample. They always do it. Pollsters only get accurate the last 2 weeks of an election. Why? Because when they get judged after the election and how close they called it, they're only getting judged on that last week or two. So then they have no choice but to try to get as accurate as possible and really poll the correct way. Isn't it miraculous that no matter how much a Democrat is up, the polls always tighten in the last 2 weeks? That's not a miracle, folks. People didn't change their mind the last 2 weeks. That is the pollsters trying to get it right for their report card.
What are you talking? Last 2 weeks? We're talking like the last few hours at Trump election. Come on. The polls did not let up. The Democrats, CNN, MSNBC, they did not let up at all until like the last minute. That's why there's like the huge video out on YouTube about Trump. Oh, well, Trump has won Michigan. Trump's won Florida. Like, it was the funniest video ever because
I loved it. Yeah. In fact, when Ann Coulter called it months before on Bill Maher's show,
and they all laughed at her.
Yeah, they're like, ah.
Like, they made her feel like such an idiot, and she's just like,
okay. And she called it. And we called it too. Remember when we traveled through Pennsylvania? And I can almost call every single election. Here's how you know how who's going to win. Every election I've ever been in, every election I've ever witnessed, you go through neighborhoods, not just your own hometown, but crisscross your state and count how many people have Democrat, whoever the Democrat nominees, yard sign in, or Republican. And everywhere we went, it was Trump, 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 right? Until you got downtown to any core city, and then all of a sudden it start changing to a little bit of Clinton, 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 right?
Right.
But
yeah. But there's Trump flags everywhere.
Everywhere.
Trump flags, Trump signs.
And what is that all about? It's not that there's more Trump voters, that they're more energized. Elections do not come down to who has the most voters. I mean, it does. Popular vote, not really even electoral college vote. But it's coming up to election, you can call an election based on how energized their base are. Okay? That's why in 2018, I saw it. I was like, oh, Lord, Republicans are in trouble because everywhere you went, there were a lot of Democrat signs out. And they were killing us in messaging. Now, they made a big deal about nothing because in 2010, the Republicans took over the House and Senate from Obama. 2018, the Democrats only got the House. Okay, so But of course, the media is going to make it, the blue wave, the blue wave. Bottom line, 2 years after any president's elected, there's always a change in leadership in the houses because America likes a divided country. Not that we're polarized divided, but they like it that there's a check and balance on our president because our presidents have a lot of power with executive action, thanks to Obama setting that precedent. So, next story. This is just more of that. New evidence surfaces and Tara Reid allegation against Biden. New evidence supports credibility of Tara Reid. Video appears to show. Now, I actually had to go out and search for that story. So just because you see top stories there and it shows those 3 from New York Post, Politico, and The Intercept, still nothing. Crickets from CNN, by the way.
Okay, can I just say I'm laughing because there is a comment and it says he doesn't even know he's creeping. LOL.
Who said that?
My dad, Uncle Grandpa.
Uncle Grandpa's out of the shower?
He's like, he doesn't even know he's creeping.
Now he doesn't. Back then he does. I think predators, they groom. And that's what that is. That's micro grooming. You know how they call it micro.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's micro grooming these girls when he whispers in their ears and all that stuff.
No, he wants them to feel like safe around him.
That's what grooming is. Yeah, make you feel safe, and then you try to get up.
Listen, okay. So when I was younger, Nate already knows the story. So when I was younger, we had like this neighbor, and he it was so so obviously he's a creep, right? He was this neighbor. But like he would always give us like candy. We'd be rollerblading around his house. So one day a friend and we went to his house and we're like sitting in his little garage office space or something. And this dude just whips out his penis like right in front of us. And he's just rubbing himself right in front of us. Like,
oh my God. I remember you telling me that. I didn't know he was rubbing it. I knew they had flashed you guys. But...
right in front of us. And I'm just like, so immediately my friend and I are like, oh no, like we're getting out of here. Like there's no way. So we just run out of the house. We're like, because even as children, you feel like this weird, like this isn't right. As children, when something's right and when something's wrong. So it was so strange. And I swear to God, I'm pretty sure my dad almost killed this guy, right? Because the first thing we did was ran to my friend's house who lived across the street and told her parents, like, this isn't right. Something's wrong.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But little girls especially, like, I could never imagine my 13-year-old who's she doesn't like touching or she's not very touchy-feely anyways. I could never imagine some dude whispering in her ear and her even allowing it.
Nah, she'd be like, get the hell out of my ear. She can't say their R's.
Yeah, why are you in my ear?
Why in my ear? Come on, Queeper.
Or she'd be like, Queeper.
Come on, Queeper, get out of my ear.
So,
Dad, this guy's a Queeper.
And especially now, I think parents, it's odd to me. Like parents now, we seem to be like way more open in communication with our children than ever before, So I just can't, I love the one meme with the girl, and she's like, with Joe Biden, she's like, ew, like get away from me.
There's a lot of memes, man, like where he touches her face and she's like, and he had just met her.
Away.
Yeah, they were in the parking lot. Like, who
That's
gives you
weird.
the right to touch? The guy's a creep, man. That's all there's to it. I think everybody's spidey senses go up. Not only is he a creep, but he's got dementia. So, Democrats, please, for the love of God, do not go out and vote. Just stay home. Just stay home and protest that Bernie didn't get the nomination, okay?
I agree. Protest Bernie's nomination being effed over all over again.
All right, so I beat up on Biden. I'm a pretty bipartisan guy. Let it be known that if it comes down to Biden versus Trump all day long, okay? Because I give him an A- on policy. I give him a D- on messaging. But I do give him a B+ on handling the press because he's the first Republican to actually call him out. Trump ends his coronavirus briefing. We already went over this, but he tries to say that injecting disinfectants was sarcasm. I wish he didn't. Okay. Dr. Birx had came out with a perfectly plausible explanation for why he had said what he said. And, she said, hey, he was briefed on new science. New science, yes, we can oxidize and send in disinfectants, so to speak, in the lungs, all that stuff. But then he comes out like, oh, man, I was just joking. Come on, Trump. You weren't joking. You were
Yeah.
actually repeating science, and you came out like a fool, and you're a narcissist, and I got a little narcissistic tendencies in myself, I admit. Quit laughing, Whitley. And, you know, just admit it, man. Hey, man, I got it wrong. I was talking about something. They had just briefed me in the Oval Office. I was excited about it. I came out, and, you know, everybody say, hey, you're human, man. We got you. It's when you try to cover up. It's like Whitmer, you know, trying to cover up, or anybody. Look, don't cover up. Come out and be real. Most Americans are heart-led people, man. We'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, I've said some stupid things. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're late for work, right? When I was young, I don't know. I just wasn't raised that great for alarm clocks. I'd be late for work, and instead of saying, yo, boss, did it again. Sorry, man. You know, alarm clock is just not waking me up, man. Tonight I'll set 3. I would try to come up like, yeah, man, I was got up, migraine, but you know, and they're like, come on, man, just be honest. Okay? Be honest, Mr. Trump. You're not watching this, I know, but be honest. Just shut up. Of course, then other people say it loud, say it clear. Donald Trump needs to resign over his handling of the coronavirus. Bullshit. Actions speak louder than words. I just showed you. You know what? The media has come out. Oh, we're number 1 in the world in cases. No, we're not. We're number 15th. Number 17th in cases. Oh, USA is number 1 in deaths. No, we're not. We're number 14th in deaths, 15th in deaths. Because if you take per million, we are a large country. We are the 3rd largest country in the world in population. I think only China and Indonesia beats us in population. Okay? So, we are not doing that bad. And we are the world's market. Before, while China was lying to us, people were coming to the United States, and they were traveling here, and they were bringing their bug with them. Because nobody travels on purpose to Ecuador unless they have family there, but for business and all that. Not a lot of people are in Nicaragua trying to, you know, visit, although they have beautiful beaches, but it's a dangerous country. People come to the United States. We're a tourist destination. We're the international hub for business. So we are doing pretty damn good. You know what, Boston Globe? Kiss my ass. Go ahead, Whitley.
Kiss my ass.
There you go. That's all she's got to say. Kiss my ass. All right, next story. This right here pisses me off. New York Times, Washington Post, all the liberal ones. States come out. Don't inject disinfectants. Here.
Oh, Lord.
America.
Come on.
America, if you feel the need. First of all, Trump never even said, hey, you should use disinfectants in yourself. He said, hey, doctors, are you guys studying this? That's what he said. And I'm sure it has to be done under a medical doctor, he even said. That's probably the only smart thing he said. And I beat up on Trump here for a minute. Okay? But if you're too stupid to realize that you don't inject Lysol into your veins, you know what? Some people are just, it's called Darwinism, man.
We are talking about the same country that ate fucking Tide Pods, okay? Let's be real.
8 Tide Pods.
Are you kidding me right now?
It's during the day, boo. It's PG-13,
Sorry.
no F-bombs, okay?
But it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so I've been drinking.
It's true.
I've been drinking.
Oh, karaoke. Hey, have you guys seen, by the way, that quarantine karaoke?
Quarantine karaoke. There's like 3 or 4 different sites, and they're hilarious.
Oh my God, and they're all over my newsfeed, so I'll watch them, man. There's some people on there, and they're like, if you have to start your thing up with your title, say "Don't Hate," you probably shouldn't be singing live to the world, okay? Yeah, there was. I mean, there are some toothless people out there singing karaoke, man. It's like the bowels of Kentucky, West Virginia, making fun of West Virginia too. They're out there singing karaoke, and they had no business singing karaoke, especially to a live international audience. Some of them are good though. There was this one girl. She was playing guitar.
Really good last night.
She sang that. What's that song?
Ingrid Andreas.
What does it say? Like, you're not gonna just break our heart, or you're gonna break my.
It's called More Hearts Than Mine.
More Hearts Than Mine. Yeah. Country.
Yeah, she did a really good live version of it. I was surprised.
All right, so back to it, man. If Lysol had to come out yesterday and say, hey, don't inject or consume our Lysol brand products. If you're so stupid that you need that warning, please do. That's called Darwinism, okay? Please. By all means, try it. Tell us how it worked out. Maybe I should post the poison control number across the screen.
Hey,
there.
that's probably a good idea. And I don't think that they're gonna be calling you to tell you how it worked out.
Right. I mean,
they're going to be in the hospital dying from coronavirus. Okay.
The fact that, plug in back in the day when vibrators had to be plugged in, they had to put a warning, please don't use in the bathtub. Okay. If you're stupid enough to have anything plugged in the bathtub, you're an idiot, man. It's called Darwinism. Sometime, we just got to let the stupid people die. I'm not talking about the specially mentally ill. I'm not talking about, the special needs people. I'm talking about everyday Americans. If you got to have that, because if you have to read that warning, then you probably shouldn't be living on your own anyways. I mean, that's just my opinion. You're not. It's called Darwinism. I have a feeling though. I have a feeling that a lot of the deaths, it seems like it's genetic. Like for coronavirus, I know that's just a wholly abrupt change of story, but it's just because I'm looking at my next slide.
Yeah, because that whole family.
Yeah, like you remember that family? They had like 17 kids or whatever, and 15 of them died, or what? I mean, and yeah, it seems that identical twin sisters in the UK die of coronavirus just 3 days apart. Now they did say that they did have underlying conditions, both of them, but they were nurses. Okay, so they probably shouldn't have been practicing their field as soon as they knew about coronavirus. But somehow they got coronavirus, they died, and they just, it's like genetic almost. You see it. Here's one that's sweet for you, Whitley, because when Whitley and I first got married, we used to watch The Notebook where they died hand in hand. We'd be like, oh, it's our anniversary, so I'm like, yeah, babe, we're gonna die hand in hand. She had like
that's like still my goal. You know that, right?
To die hand in hand.
Yes.
As long as now that we're getting older, hopefully it's later in life. Married New Jersey soulmates die of coronavirus just 12 days apart. So
it's still too far away.
Not exactly hand in hand, but
who died first, the man or the wife or the husband?
I don't remember. I read the story, but they did. They're from New Jersey and died 12 minutes apart.
12? You said 12 days.
12 days. 12 days. Sorry.
12 minutes is different.
Yeah.
12 minutes would be fine.
U.S. and China are no-shows at a global coronavirus video conference. Now, why? If it's okay, I can understand President Trump. If he's just going to go to this conference and get beat up, then why did he show up? But China didn't show up. China should be at any global coronavirus video conference. And I'll tell you why. Because it came from China. It's your fault. Whether it came from the bat market, the wet market, or whatever you want to call it.
It's still from your country.
It's from your country. All right, later we're going to see where Governor Cuomo says, well, actually, our strain came from Europe. Bullshit. It came from China. It might have stopped off. It's like if I'm flying from China to the United States and I have a layover in London, I wasn't coming from Europe. I was coming from China. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right. Basically, that virus went to Europe and had a layover. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's see here. Trial for potential coronavirus drug running ahead of schedule. That's good news. Very good news.
I'm not taking any drug. I'm just telling you.
I bet you will if you're on your deathbed.
Yeah, at the very last moment. But I already said, and I already told you, that I am not giving my kids any vaccines that were made in the last, 90 days. That shit is not happening. I'd rather just get coronavirus and build antibodies.
I guess you just commented. Eddie. Remember Eddie Escavera from New Harvest Hollister over there in California?
Hi, Eddie.
He said, haha, let them take themselves out. That's the idiots with the coronavirus injecting stuff, I think.
Listen to me. I am not taking any vaccine that was made in the last 90 days. It's not happening. No, I'd rather ingest Lysol.
You'd rather ingest Lysol?
I'm not putting anything that was made in the last 90 days in me or my children.
Listen.
No.
You're an idiot. I mean, if it's
no,
FDA
it's
clear,
not
it's
happening.
clear. Listen.
No. You're crazy.
Listen, they're not ingesting Lysol. Okay, this is that Darwinism I was speaking about. Yes, that goes for my wife, too.
I'm not actually going to ingest Lysol, but...
Eddie says, hey, guys, Whitley, I miss your sweet tea. Ha, ha, ha.
I don't even make sweet tea anymore.
I know. You've lost your countryside.
I've done lost the country.
Lost the countryside. All right. So China reports no coronavirus deaths for 10th straight day. I think that's good news. However, I don't think they're being 100% honest with their numbers.
No, probably not. They're probably not being honest at all about anything.
Oh, man. The WHO has bad news for those banking on antibody tests because they say that potentially, just because you have the antibodies that you're not immune, I say hogwash, unlike HIV or other types of viruses such as a herpes virus that never dies. This dies. So I think our bodies can attack. You might have to get sick once or twice, but guess what? Eventually our bodies are going to adapt just like everything else adapts in life. I think it's stupid for them to even put that out there. Sunbathers, and you're going to see this with California in a minute too. Southern sunbathers are flocking to Florida's Cocoa Beach as it reopens. They're trying to stay socially distanced, but it's supposed to be a really nice day in Florida, also in California. So they're going out there too.
I don't blame him. I would love to be on the beach right now.
Look, bottom line, if you're not like spring break, the beaches get really crowded, or middle of summer. But if you look at the picture on the screen, I mean, they're pretty damn far apart. Let them lay in the sun. In fact, they found that vitamin D could possibly help you prevent, the coronavirus stuff. So, I mean, let them be. Oh, there it is. Heads in the sand. This is from dailymail.com. Thousands of Californians head to the beach during a heat wave. Residents ignore Governor Newsom's plea. Not only a plea, but an executive order to stay home so they can enjoy the sun amid fears crowds will get bigger this weekend. Yeah, they're probably going to get bigger. The good news, like I said, they're soaking up some vitamin D. So maybe it won't hurt them as bad. But I don't blame them. If I had the chance right now to say, hey, you know what? With a 0.5 or 0.1 or whatever the death rate is, if I have a 99, hell, even a 95% chance, hey, I'm going to survive this thing, those are good odds in my opinion. Family, back up the sunscreen. We're going to the
days
beach.
off next week in a row. Let's do this.
We're going to the beach. I mean, bottom line, these are all young people out there. Okay, so if they get it, yes, you could transmit it. Look, young people, quit telling young people not to go outside and go to the beach. Tell them, hey, stay away from grandma and grandpa for the next 14 days if you go to the beach. They'll be like, oh, okay, cool. And if you have to get around grandma and grandpa, try to socially distance, wear a mask, the gloves, the whole 9 yards. It's going to happen, man. We got to get everybody infected anyways, whether it's through vaccine or not. And if the WHO is correct that our antibodies aren't immunizing us, then the vaccine won't work either, because that's how vaccines work. They immunize us, right?
I'm sure I already had coronavirus.
Yeah, I've said that many times on the show, man.
Remember, like, I got sick in January and February, like almost a month apart. I had like this random fever, which I never get sick. I never get like fevers ever. But I would fall asleep and I wasn't eating, and it only lasted like 2 days. I wasn't eating and I had like a fever that spiked to maybe like 101, the highest. And then I would sweat it out at night and be fine the next day.
Yeah, and then it would spike again.
And then it would spike again towards the evening, which I understand. Cortisol, whatever, will it lowers, so it causes you to, spike fevers at night. But yeah, it didn't feel like a flu though, because I had a flu where it knocks you down for a week. This was not like that.
Right. So heads in the sand. Thousands of Californians had to beach during heat wave. Hey, like I said, man, yes, their numbers are spiking, but cases per day. Remember, California is 30 million people. More than that, 40 million people. So if they're getting 1,200 cases in a day, yes, that sounds like a lot, but it's not. Compared to the size of California, it's not that much. And people just need to chill out. Chill out, people. Okay, get out in the sun. Enjoy life. If you're young and you're healthy, make sure you stay away from grandma and grandpa and those that aren't healthy. I know I'll get some nasty comments. I always get some nasty comments on this, but guess what? It's life, man. There's sickness everywhere. I have people especially liberals, well, what if it was your aunt? I wouldn't expect the whole world to stop over my aunt. I hope my aunt or my grandpa or my father or mother, they live for 200 years, but it's not going to happen. I don't expect the whole world to stop for one person. We have to find a threshold and say, okay, this is when we cause a Great Depression, because that's what we just caused, by the way. You thought the recession of 2008 was bad? This is going to be worse. Prepare yourself.
Not just that, like we still didn't have as many deaths as they were calling for.
Well, a lot of people say, well, that's because we socially isolated. Maybe we did, but even if, let's say the worst case scenario was 2.2 million deaths, okay? I want you to take 2.2 million on a calculator, not really, but not real time, and divide it by 330, say 5 million people, because that's how many people we have in our country, okay?
I can learn to
And I was doing that, and maybe I will do it. All right? So, 2.2 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Divided by, say, we'll just go with the low ball, 330 million. That's a lot of zeros. That means that less than 4/10% of our population at most. Now, this is the most grim, and we know that they've been wrong on all these calculations, but the most grim calculation says that less than 4/10% would die. Okay, and that's the worst case. Was it worth stopping our entire economy over that?
Absolutely not.
Yes, it is sad that anybody loses their life. For all you nurses out there that have seen this, yes, you are seeing the sickest of the sick. But that is crazy that we have just thrown this world, and state like South Dakota said, no, they're not locking down. A country, Sweden, they didn't lock down. They got their economy going, except for the only thing they did was cancel schools, made them online, which I agree with.
I kind of like the online schools, to be honest.
I think it's great because then they're not as
I
indoctrinated.
don't know. I like seeing my kids every day. It's kind of cool. I might homeschool from here on out.
Yeah, they're saying that that's a big thing that might happen. A lot of education unions are mad or upset about that because a lot of people are like, hey, you know what? Homeschooling is not that bad. There's curriculum all over the internet. I've got my kids on Khan Academy. They're getting a better, more solid curriculum than probably in their schools. You know?
I agree. And not just that, it's been like nice seeing them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like on my days off work, like I'm home, I can see them.
Now, I have friends that were homeschooled, and my sister was homeschooled, like, oh, they're going to be so socially awkward. Then get your kids in sports, get your kids in this and that, have lots of sleepovers, they won't be awkward. If socially awkward means that they don't know about non-binary women at the 4th grade, then good. I'm glad they're socially awkward. They should know about that in the 4th grade.
I agree.
You know? But bottom line, hey, I've enjoyed the homeschooling too. But going back, worst case scenario, had we not locked down, which I don't think would have happened. I think it would have been more like that mid-case scenario, about 200,000 people would have died. Yes, it would have been bad, but guess what? We would all be immune right now. If we were all out, we never locked down, this thing would be over. That's what that doctor at the beginning of the show was saying. That's what the doctor in Sweden is telling his people. In the next 3 weeks, they're going to have herd immunity in all of Sweden. Why? Because they didn't lock down. They allowed human nature to happen. They've isolated the old and the elderly, but they allowed the people to get sick and to pass it on. That is a damn good idea.
Yeah.
All right.
How has Italy been doing? Because they were hit like really hard, like right at the first start of it, but you don't really hear a whole lot of stories about Italy anymore.
Well, Italy is now down to 5th in deaths per million. So they're doing about 3 times worse overall. Now, this is from the beginning to the end. But Italy is another thing. Italy and Spain and even France and Europe, believe it or not, as woke as they are, they actually smoke more than us. And we know that that's a big, big
issue. That's true.
Okay.
A lot of Europeans smoke more.
Right. All right, here's one thing I don't get, man. I've been seeing a lot of this lately. Look, guys, if you want to be a cop, go to California, come out here to the Washington, D.C. area. They can't find enough cops. You do not have to impersonate them. In the Midwest, for some reason, there is an issue with people that really want to be police officers, and they're pulling people over with fake lights and stuff. National Guardsmen allegedly, and here's how they always get caught. Allegedly impersonating a cop pulled over an off-duty officer. They always end up pulling, okay, you might pull over 20 people. Chances are, out of that 21, somebody's going to be a cop, and they're going to like, dude, you're kind of fake, man. Remember the Indiana National Guard picked the wrong driver to pull over while impersonating a cop. An off-duty lieutenant who was out on a Sunday drive with his family, authorities said. Private First Class Felipe Espy of Indianapolis was arrested Tuesday after pulling over a police lieutenant. Bro, you were in the National Guard. Go active duty and become an MP. Then you can pull people over for real. You know?
Have you nothing better to do, though, with your life? that pretend to be something that you're not.
You go join the Police Explorers. Go to Police Academy. Like I said,
Please explore.
California, everywhere I went, they could not find enough cops.
Listen, Anne Arundel County and Maryland, they're constantly
East
putting out
Coast?
cop things. Frederick, Maryland, they're constantly looking for police.
NYPD, constantly hiring.
Go be a real cop.
Any growing city. Go to Atlanta. Always hiring.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go
You
for
could be
it.
a real cop and actually pull people over and be an asshole. You know, but that's the thing. These are the ones that scare me, man. If they're that intent on pulling people over fake, you know, they would be the biggest ass cops. These are the ones that end up shooting people, like that one poor guy in the hotel. Remember we watched that long time ago?
Yeah, that was sad.
You know, these are the ones that, you know, end up taking it too far. But I know some people have a calling to be a police officer. My twin brother and I probably should have been cops. I mean, that's what we wanted to be when we were little, right? And I ended up becoming a military policeman for a little bit, but look at bottom line.
I think you were made to be a radio host.
I think so too. That was my true
I think
calling.
so too. That was your true calling.
But if you want to be a cop that bad, go and be a freaking cop. They're hiring. You just got to move from Indiana, okay? They're hiring. All right. Drink refill time. We're going to go on mute, take 5-minute break, and go refill our drinks, and we will see you back in 5 minutes. So if you're a really cool fan, you're not going to drop off. We will see you then.
Yeah, if you're a really cool fan.
Oh, we even got music for you for 5 minutes.
Can you hear me?
All right, so we are back. Yes, a few seconds early, we are back. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Of course, leave it to occur. My uncle says that we were having a quickie. A 5-minute. We've been drinking. So, oh man. So we are back. Got a refill. You know, I love German beer, but it kind of fills you up. So I had to switch back over to my drink of choice, which is, of course, my Bacardi and Diet Coke. Whitley's getting buzzed off her Mick Ultra. How that happens, I don't know.
I've been drinking a gallon of water every day. So now I have a little bit of alcohol.
Eddie says, I hear you. Hopefully he doesn't think he heard us doing things, but that's cool. Oh man. So let's get right into some serious stuff here.
Oh, serious.
A rapper turned ISIS fighter, once thought to be Jihadi John. He's not. We ended up killing Jihadi John, but he was a London rapper. He was arrested in Spain. The picture that you see on your screen is him actually holding up. It's been blurred out, but him actually holding up a decapitated head. So this gem, he decided they don't know why he was in Spain. If he was trying to come back, you know, a lot of these ISIS people, they grow up and they're like, oh man, I really screwed up. They try to get back into Europe where life is actually good. Isn't it funny that the jihadis and these ISIS people, they all try to escape the exact government that they created? It's kind of like Democrats. You know, they vote Democrat for like New York, New Jersey,
then
even Michigan, but they all move out
states
for a job to a Republican state. Oh, well, you know, Michigan, the jobs suck. Do you think maybe it's because of the way you voted that the jobs suck? It's kind of like Colorado and Texas. They have these signs up now that says, don't California my
Colorado.
My Colorado.
Yeah. Like, stop moving there and just voting in the same shit you voted in your own state.
I mean...
Or just stay in your own state and re-vote, you freaking a-holes.
Or come over, but then say, you know, maybe they got something going on down here in the South that we actually have jobs that we can actually come to. But anyway, so the same thing happens with these roaches called ISIS. They all tend to want to come back to Europe. But if it was so great what they created, why are they trying to come back to Europe, you know?
Yep.
Oh, man. Let's go. Dems allegedly working around Congress to send checks to illegal immigrants. Now, remember, keep in mind that these same Democrats are begging the federal government right now for money to bail out their pension system and their states because they're so broke. But they're not so broke that they can say, hey, not only, and I don't blame the migrant. I've always said I don't blame the migrant because they're coming here for a job and we're the idiots that turn a blind eye and don't call after our employers. But we're definitely not going to pay you to be here. Okay? So these same idiots that are begging for the federal government have enough money to give stimulus money out of their state coffers to illegal immigrants. Democrat governors and mayors are going around Congress, put money into the pockets of illegal immigrants who are excluded from receiving the $1,200 coronavirus relief checks that are part of the $2.2 trillion stimulus plan. California Governor Gavin Newsom created a private-public $125 million fund that helps illegal immigrants. Bottom line, this guy was just asking for money from us. They're asking for the federal government. They're asking for you in Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas, wherever you are, for money to help bail out their state, but they got enough money for illegal immigrants. That is the liberalism, in my opinion. Not libertarianism. Not liberalism as in freedom. Real liberalism, which is called classical liberalism. I'm talking about the woke left now, the intolerant tolerant. That is a mental disorder.
It's pretty much the Bernie supporters.
Yeah, and AOC.
Yeah.
They have lost their doggone mind. I mean, they don't even realize how dumb they sound. They don't. They have no clue.
What do you mean? They're so woke.
They're so woke that they want to help the illegal immigrant, but yet they also want to have their socialism. So they want their cake and eat it too. Look, you want money for your socialism for your citizens? Then choose. But you can't we don't have enough money to go around to be a socialist world, and the United States pay for it. We're already paying way too much to the UN, the WHO, NATO, all that stuff. That's how Europe gets all their socialism, is that we're paying for their military. So they save a lot of money. Military is very expensive. You know? Now, this, man, makes you sound heartless. I'm not trying to be, but U.S. deporting illegal immigrants with coronavirus back to Guatemala, president says. Look, we should stabilize them. We should give them enough drugs. But yeah, once they're in our system, then maybe we should send them home with enough drugs, whatever we have. It's an incurable disease as of now, but we think maybe hydroxychloroquine. Give them some drugs and send them back to their home country to take care of their people. That is the that is their elected government. You know, it sounds heartless, but I mean, what do? We can't take everybody, all 7 billion people into the United States.
Wait, these are people that are already here?
Yeah. U.S. deporting illegal immigrants with coronavirus to Guatemala. Now, what I think it is, though, I think that's a headline. What was really happening here is that the people were in our ICE detention centers. Yeah, they got caught with coronavirus, right, while they were waiting to be deported. And they're saying, hey, yes, we're still deporting you.
Well, if they're already like in the process, I guess, of being deported, I don't know. It's such a, I hate this topic.
Yeah, because we know people that are illegal.
I honestly,
in this country, and they're really nice people. They're hard workers. Like I said, I blame government for turning a blind eye, and I blame businesses for hiring illegal immigrants. They should go after those businesses. And I understand. I got a buddy who does odds and ends for us, and I'm not going to name him, obviously. But that guy will work circles around most Americans I've ever seen.
I just feel so bad. Like, I have friends that are illegal, and, you know, people that I think are amazing people. And I don't know, I hate this subject.
I hate the subject, but we can't allow, because we know people does not mean that as a macroeconomic policy, we cannot just allow people to come into the country unchecked.
No, I agree. It's not smart. You know, I don't know. I think everybody kind of knows somebody, so it like touches and it pulls on their heartstrings, and I think that's what I hate about it.
By the way, we are actually live, so if you want, you can post at the Nightcaps with Nate page your comments or questions, and we will try to read all of them online.
Yes, I love reading the comments. They're so funny.
Yep, and I'm also live on my page, my personal page, and Whitley's live, I think, on her personal page, but probably should do it over there on the Nightcaps with Nate page. While you're there, make sure that you click follow and like. Also, another reminder, since we're past the halfway point, if you have not yet, go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers so that I get my own custom URL. Look, it's free for you to subscribe, and it'll be free for me to get the URL, and you'll make a Christmas day early for me. So,
yes, go subscribe.
Right.
You guys have nothing better to do right now.
Yeah, you're on lockdown, unless you're driving to see.
It takes 2 seconds.
Unless you're Amber and you're driving to see my brother.
Okay. You have an excuse, Amber.
No, because once she gets to my brother's house, we call him Heimer. Once you get to Heimer's house, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right. Cuomo, though, you know what? Would I want Cuomo as president? No, only because of the Supreme Court. But, man, he guy's kind of impressive. Not his brother. His brother's a douche. Brother on CNN, he's just a straight old DB, man. That guy, he had some fake video. I showed it last night on the show.
Oh, God. Don't get it started on this one again.
he coming from the basement. But, yeah, just a week ago, he almost got in a fight outside on Easter. But his brother's kind of level-headed, man. He will not commit to providing relief for illegal immigrants amid COVID-19. He's a pragmatist. He knows, hey, I'm asking the federal government for money. I'm not going to sit there and ask for. I'm not gonna, we don't have the money for it, you know. Trump administration urged to release illegal immigrants amid coronavirus. That's a nonsense thing. Not unless, here's how, the only way that I would say that the government should release illegal immigrants is if every county, every city, and every state says, yes, we are no longer a sanctuary city and we will help you recapture them if they don't show up for their deportation hearing. You know, because if you release them, then all that money just went to waste. All that money of going out and finding them. And remember, they're not working with the cooperation of many of these liberal woke jurisdictions. So answer is no. Ilhan Omar wants to release prisoners, ICE detainees as coronavirus outbreak spreads. Of course. You know? I mean, this is a lady who would actually allegedly marry her own brother to violate our immigration laws. Look, Michigan, y'all got Whitmer and then that Rashida Tlaib.
I could never
Minnesota.
marry my own brother. So gross.
Well, I don't know if they consummated the marriage, but
I wouldn't even pretend.
but it was because they had different names or something, and it was to get him into the United States from Somalia. Got it. I know you'll go through some desperate lengths, but marry your own brother. Reminds me of Joe Dirt. You're my sister. You're my sister. All right. Here's a sad one. Let's see. Really sad one. American couple that was quarantining in Mexico gunned down while driving. She's a school teacher. He is a golf pro, like one of those ones, PGA pros that teach people how to play golf. They're quarantining in Mexico. They said, hey, enjoy the beautiful sunshine. They don't know why they are targeted, but if you look at that Jeep in the picture there's a bunch of bullet holes. I don't know if they were just mistargeted or what, but it happened on right outside, I think we're on the other side of El Paso, Laredo, I think.
Oh, nice.
Whitley's saying that because I was trying to get her for my boy, I have a really good friend, and I was saying, hey, let's move to where it's always sunny. You know, El Paso seems nice. And she's like, are you crazy, Laredo, or whatever's on the other side? And I said, yeah, but that's on the Mexican side. Who cares? You know, I mean, you know.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so that didn't go down
that's
good.
not going to happen.
Eddie says, I'll go subscribe on YouTube after this. Yes, Eddie, all you got to do is just Google or do a search, Nightcaps with Nate, and it should come right up. Appreciate it, buddy.
Ed, you're the best.
And also tell your brother I said hi. I see him every once in a while on social media. Florida lawyer, he's so cool and woke that he's actually going to go to the beach to wear a Grim Reaper costume to stop people from visiting beaches. And if you can see up there, he's on there with a Grim Reaper sickle and a flag.
I think he's just going to be really sweaty.
I think so too. People might even actually go and take pictures next to him, which would violate social distancing. So, you know, some of these woke things, they always kind of backfire a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's just be really hot.
You know, like when you go to like New York City or Chicago or San Francisco, they have the people like on the stretch, you know, and they're like dressed in Batman costumes and stuff.
And they're all like want pictures, like, yeah, Grim Reaper on the beach.
Yeah, man, it's so cool. Hey, let's get a picture of the Grim Reaper. And like, no, social distance. Yeah, that's a backfire. All right. China sends medical experts to advise on Kim Jong-un, report says. Now, remember, there's been talk that he's on his deathbed. There's also been intelligence reports that he's been moved out of Pyongyang to a seaside city resort so that he can heal from some sort of heart surgery. The guy's only 36, but he smokes like a chimney. Now, remember, this is what's crazy about the North Koreans, man. And I feel bad for their people because they don't get any media outside, so they're just brainwashed, right? They're kind of like those people on the Mormon camps, you know, where they have like 15 wives. And so, you know, they think that he's a god. You know, they literally tell these people that, hey, man, he doesn't even poop. Well, guess what? He does poop, and he can die from cigarette smoke. And
I don't either. Twinsies, Kim Jong-un.
True story. Never seen him poop. Eddie says, yeah, I'll tell him. Barely see him. He's a workaholic. Wonder if he's still working at Target. Remember he was working at Target?
Yeah.
They
Him
both
and
were,
Lisa. Yeah. Him and Lisa and Eddie was for a while, right?
I believe so. That was like the job in Hollister. By the way, in Hollister, for all of my viewers, yes, we lived in Hollister, California. It is not a surf town. It is a town in the desert.
Yeah, that's where Kylie was born.
That's where Kylie was born. I said, "Oh, cool, Hollister, California, man." And then we go out there like, I don't see a beach.
But some of the best people I ever met in my life.
Yes, yep. New Harvest Hollister. Shout out to the church out there. They're so religious that they have church like it was like every single night almost, wasn't it? They had something going on every night.
It was nice, yeah. It was a nice little area.
Yeah, it's a good church family. Eddie actually let me borrow a guitar for a while so I could try to learn to play guitar. Still haven't learned, Eddie.
Fail.
Yeah. All right, next story. Iran warns, I kind of touched on this the other night, U.S. warships in Gulf will be destroyed if they are threatened. Bitch, please. You know what I'm saying? That would be like, no joke. Remember Elf? When he kept calling him an elf? And the little guy came and like jumped across the table and attacked him and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, unless they got some moves like that guy, come on, dude. Iran. Don't. Please. Save yourself your trouble and just stay away from our ships. How's that? And the reason why we're doing this is because these little motorboats come around and, you know, the Iranian Guard, which is supposed to be their special forces, just come around and they harass our ships. I mean, honestly, it would take one little aim of our gun and go boom.
Wasn't it like a little fisher boat or something?
Yeah, they're like fishing boats with like 50 caliber machine guns on them. It's
Yeah,
kind of
it's
like when you go into, like when you watch a movie like in a third world country and they had the pickup trucks and they put a
Yeah, the big machine gun thing on there.
Yeah, Eddie says Mark is an HR executive in Salinas. He's doing really good for himself. Great.
Oh, that's good. Congrats.
All right.
Nate, what do you work for? What do you do now?
I'm recruiting, man.
Yeah.
I do recruiting. I used to be in charge of all the recruiters and like director of recruiting, and I got an awesome company I work for, and they all veteran owned and operated pretty much. I don't think it's veteran owned, but anyways, you might as well be an honorary veteran for what he does for veterans. But
We both support our veterans now.
Yeah, it's an awesome place to work, and I don't have to be in charge of recruiters. I am an actual recruiter, which I love to do.
Right. And I work at the Martinsburg VA Center in West Virginia. The best VA ever.
Best VA ever. Oh, man. It's like the tallest midget, right?
No, it's the best.
Possible coronavirus vaccine enters human testing trial at unprecedented speed. Usually takes years to get it. So there may be a vaccine for this thing. I mean, I say let's wait and see before we start injecting ourselves. First of all, I'm the type, I'll take any vaccine. Why? Because I think that's the most homeopathic medicine there's available.
Yeah, but you don't know what they're you don't even want to like wait and see like how people react to it or anything. You just be like, give me first in line.
No, not first in line.
Come on.
Let the most vulnerable, because they're the ones that are going to get it first anyways. You know, it's going to be rationed.
First. What if they all die off from the vaccine?
Then I'd be like, well, maybe not taking that vaccine. Better go back into trials.
That's what I'm saying. Don't be injecting me with some random vaccine you just came off the market with.
Yep. But I am not an anti-vaxxer in any way, and I'll tell you why. Anti-vaxxers are usually big into homeopathic medicine. There's nothing more homeopathic than a good vaccine that teaches your own body to fight off an illness on its own. That's homeopathic, man. That's awesome. That's naturalist right there. All right, so by all means, give me the vaccine. CDC triples number of coronavirus symptoms. Okay, we already know this. CDC is now saying that if you have a loss of sense of smell plus a fever, you might want to get checked out. They're noticing loss of taste and smell might be one of the symptoms. So, this one's for Whitley. This is no joke. I don't want any racist statements against Asians, although they do some weird things sometimes over there in their country. Not here, but over there. Now, what I'm about to say does not apply to Asians that live here in the United States, okay? But black cats are turned into paste and sold as coronavirus remedy in Vietnam.
Hey!
Whitley has a black cat named Salem.
He is the best little black cat in the whole world.
So apparently, there's a disturbing video of they take them, they skin them, they boil them, and then they somehow make them into a paste. And they feed it, and they have like this little baby eating the cat paste.
What the heck? Oh, sickos!
I want to know who started the rumor. Hey,
Black cats.
I bet you if we make a paste. Not even give them some black cat meat. Just some paste. They had to pulverize this thing and make them into paste and feed them that way. So apparently,
you listen to me right now. I'll kill you. Anybody that touches Salem.
This is in Vietnam. Now remember, I don't know if it was
So
true, but we
weird.
had that Vietnam soldier ballet with my friend. Good guy.
True. Yeah.
He was
Hey,
talking
Val.
about how they would take a monkey alive, put him in like a little contraption where it can't move, and then they actually literally eat its brains while it's alive. Can you imagine doing that?
No. I like barely eat sushi without gagging sometimes.
So my boating uncle, who is a boating aficionado, said that those Iranian boats look like 40-foot sea rays. Either way, we can blow them out. Take one little boom. You know what I'm saying? Just knock them out of the water. I'm glad Trump's doing that, by the way. Back to that. We'll get off the black paste.
Look at this little man.
I see Vietnamese medicine right before me.
No, he's so sweet.
By the way, that's a practice near Hanoi, not the whole country of Vietnam, but that's what's happening. They showed them like all packaged up nicely and neatly in paste. They do use black packaging. Back to the Iranian thing.
Little man.
Back to the Iranian thing. You know, these people, remember under Obama, they took over a whole war boat of ours. You know, one of those, our own little version of speedboats, but ours are armored and stuff. I mean, and they're all sitting there with their hands like this. U.S. service members to a little country like Iran. That's because in the military, you're so damn scared to use force without authorization, but it could take minutes to get authorization. By then, it's too late. That's why I like how Trump just comes out and says, hey, authorized. If they mess with your ships, give them a warning toot or two, and then blow them out of the water.
I said a warning toot.
Yes.
Toot toot.
Exactly.
About to blow you up, bitch.
Oh, I've been missing comments. Davis is silent majority. Yes, we are the silent majority. Dave said if you set yourself on fire, it'll cure the virus.
True story.
True story. Do it. It will kill the virus. Might kill you too. Texas girl. This is sad. Sad. No, she did not die of coronavirus, so it's not a story. A Texas girl who sewed 100 masks for healthcare workers dies in an ATV crash.
Oh, that's horrible.
She was country. Hey, that's a sign of patriotism if you're country. Texas girls are country, okay? And they're conservative. And it's a sad loss. You know that probably, hey, let's take a break and let's go ride on our ATV. And she died on her ATV. Sad story.
I know. I do want to thank all the mask makers out there, though. That's really awesome. You guys are taking your time to like make all these masks and like paying for material and stuff. That's pretty amazing. I have been like offered so many masks at the VA right now, like for free. It's really nice.
Yeah, it is nice. It's sad that she died.
Linda Chesser, we got a huge box of masks made from Linda Chesser in Ohio. Actually, she sent like.
Is that 50? Sam's mom?
It's Sam's mom, yeah.
Okay.
She made all these masks on her own time and, and just handed them out, not even to just my unit, but like to a bunch of people in the hospital, which I think is just so nice.
So her dad, I forgot his name, he's the one that made this flag behind me.
Right.
It's nice. It's not just a picture. It's actually made of wood. It's actually really nice.
That's heavy too, yeah.
Yep, loved it. Shout out. Now,
and he's a veteran.
And he's a veteran. The only sin of that family is that they are Ohio State fans. Can't take that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And I know my Uncle Gordy, he's on my side on that one. And Amber, you better be on my side on that one. We do not like Ohio State.
But I do love Samantha.
Yes, it is a what we would call in a guy world a bromance. Like me and Eddie, we were a bromance. But you guys are I don't know what you call it. Just girlfriends. You guys just call it girlfriends. It's really weird. Not girlfriends like that girlfriends, but. All right, protesters swarmed Las Vegas demanding the Strip to be reopened while armed demonstrators surround the Wisconsin state capitol as thousands continue to defy the social distancing and lockdown rallies across the United States. Michigan, you started it. Proud of you guys. Look, there's no reason for us all to be on lockdown. Lock down the elderly, lock down the affirmed, and let's get out there and let's get our virus on. I know it sounds stupid or redneck, but let's get that herd immunity, man. The faster we just pull the band-aid off and just get it and pass it, the faster we get done with this nonsense. Crickets. All right.
Hey, I mean, me personally, I'm out there anyways. I'm already working. I'm an essential worker, so I'm constantly out. I'm horrible. I'm horrible at social distancing. Horrible. I love people. I like to hug. Yeah. So.
Oh Lord, Samantha's on apparently because she says OH. I'm ready for the IO to come on the next one. Just save it, Samantha.
Yeah,
we don't
anyways,
need to.
So yeah, I'm horrible at social distancing. I don't care. I'm ready for it to open back up. I'll take my chances. Although I don't want my dad, his girlfriend Laura, or anybody to be sick.
Your dad's healthy. Your dad'd be fine.
He's
Laura,
very
I'd be
healthy,
worried
yeah.
about, but
I'll keep my distance.
that dude is in the gym
from just certain people. But I cannot social distance. I suck at it. I'm horrible.
Well, I'll tell you what. Your dad is quite the healthy guy. I mean, he's 65 years old almost, and he's down in my basement working out all the time. He makes me feel bad because I'm 43, and while I was doing really good at working out the last 2.5, 3 weeks, I have not worked out. I haven't done anything. I need to.
He had me spotting him this morning.
And he's got a bad shoulder. I keep saying, dude, the barbell is the worst thing for your shoulder.
The bones were like cracking. I could hear him every like. That's what they said.
All right, this is back to Darwinism in case you missed it in the first hour. Maryland Emergency Hotline gets 100 calls about disinfectant. New York Poison Control Center sees surge in calls on ingesting bleach after Trump touted as a potential cure. Bullshit. That's a lying headline. I don't buy that crap. That's the media trying to make Trump look bad. Trump never said to try it. Trump even said, hey, doctors, are you studying disinfectant? Remember, there are cures, there are treatments where they actually put oxidized stuff down into your trachea tube to get down into your lungs so that it'll clear the lungs out. That's probably what he was talking about.
There actually is like a wash of some sort.
There is. In bladder cancer, you get a chemo wash.
I'm not saying like Lysol, but I'm just saying there are things that actually are like washes where you wash your lungs.
And by the way, guess what? Guess what an antibiotic is? It is a disinfectant. It's killing a bacteria. You know?
Yeah.
Leave the guy alone. Yes, he asked the question in a stupid way that opens himself up to ridicule. Got it. But if you are so stupid that you have to call the hotline to see if you can drink bleach, I wish the hotline would be like, yep. Tell us how it works out. I mean, come on, man.
Oh, dear God.
So supposedly, don't mention Donald Trump. Republican senators are told not to defend the president's coronavirus record and try blaming China instead. That's bullshit too. Trump needs to put his record out there. We are one of the most populous countries, the third most populous country. We have probably the most international travel because we are the hub of everything. Everybody wants to be here. This virus had been going on a long time while China was hiding it, and we're still 15th in deaths. I think we've done a remarkable job for our country in this situation.
Especially for like such a huge country.
A huge country that's populated and the envy of the world.
Let's be real. Like, our country is humongous. That's good. Yeah. Fake news. Fake news.
Fake news. Disgraced lawyer Michael Avenatti, he elbow bumps guards as he walks out of federal prison in New York City, a free man after being granted temporary release amid coronavirus. I guess if you're rich and you don't pose a threat to escape, then they're going to let you out while this coronavirus thing is going on. I think it's a free pass. Michael Avenatti was released from New York City federal prison Friday. By the way, the same prison that Epstein suicided himself. DailyMail.com spotted the lawyer carrying a small clear plastic bag accompanied by officials. What's crazy is he's coming out in a suit and tie. Some people just love suits and ties. You think at the
Nate, you look pretty good in a suit and tie.
I know, but I wouldn't put one on to leave prison. I'd be like, you know what, just give me the polo. If I gotta dress up, just give me some slacks. I'll tuck it in. Will race for a COVID cure end in triumph or tragedy? Donald Trump's been ridiculed for his latest lunacy about beating the virus. Yet, as pharmaceutical giants search for a treatment will reveal the deadly risk that could cost the ultimate price. Thousands of researchers in government labs and drug firms are working flat out to crack the cure to COVID-19. Any cure to COVID-19 is going to be antiviral. They're proven to be very tough. The only thing that's going to work in the short term or anything that we already have, such as remdesivir, has shown some promise. Yes, despite what the media is saying, hydroxychloroquine is still showing promise. But it's going to be, we need to get to prevention. And I'm not talking about prevention by shutting down the world economy. I'm talking about prevention, find a vaccine, or let's get herd immunity and the 30%.
I'd rather take the herd
immunity. You only need 70%. That's what they guessed for this virus here. Okay? So that's the 70% of us that are healthy. Go get it, get immune, and it won't pass on to the elderly, theoretically. And the reason why is because, or it will, but very small amounts, theoretically. And the reason why is because a virus has to keep passing on from host to host. It's like a parasite. It has to have new hosts to infect, otherwise it dies out, fizzles out.
Yeah, I'd rather take the herd immunity.
Guess who's a billionaire now?
Ooh.
You never guess.
No, I'm not. I would never guess.
He's a Trump supporter. He's married to a West.
Me?
No, he's married to a Kardashian.
Oh, I don't watch the Kardashians. I did see their big fight that they just had.
I didn't see it, but let's move
The
on.
sisters. That's all I know about the Kardashians.
Kanye West is officially a billionaire.
Oh, that's good.
Forbes says that the rapper is worth $1.26 billion as they review.
I forgot he was married to one of the Kardashians. Kim, right?
Yeah. Says rapper is worth $1.26 billion. By the way, for the viewers, she can't see the slide, so everybody else is like, duh, she's right there on the screen.
I'm actually guessing, guys.
His huge stake in Yeezy and the value of his property empire, but he claims the sum is closer to $3.3 billion. So, he's a narcissist. So, Kanye West was officially joined the Billionaires Club in an interview with Forbes magazine published Friday. It reveals how the rapper recently provided documents to the publication, giving them authentic numeric look into Kanye Inc. Remember, this guy was supposedly broke just a couple years ago.
That's true. I do remember that.
Apparently, he's doing well. He's a Christian now, still doing his thing. So, I would like to be the church that's receiving his tithes.
Yeah.
A cool, let's say it's $3.3 billion over his lifetime. They're going to get a good, $333 million. That's a good thing. Yeezy, a $1.26 billion stake. I've never seen a Yeezy branded item out on anybody's foot or anything. So apparently it must be a big thing in certain, other communities. I've never seen it here. So congratulations to the Billionaire Club. Now you're about to pay out
Good
your
job.
Now,
Russell Gilchrist said he's leaving comments because he wants to feel important. You are important,
You
Russell.
Yeah. Oh, man. Man from Fort Bragg, baby. All right. So, welcome to the thing. That's why he probably turned Republican. He's like, damn, look at my taxes he's got to pay. Poorer neighborhoods are up to 12.6 degrees Fahrenheit hotter than richer areas due to lack of trees and green space, the study finds. All right. First of all, that's going to change because gentrification in the cities, people are moving to the cities. But that's not because you're poor. It's not like God said, oh, the poor people. Let's make their area 12.6 degrees hotter. No, it's because cement traps heat. It's called, they're city islands, heat islands as they call them. All right? Maybe
it's just God.
All right. A new study of average temperatures in 108 U.S. cities shows that neighborhoods with a history of redlining are on average 4.7 degrees hotter than any other part of the cities. Wait, I thought I said 12.6. But anyways, first of all, anytime you're in an urban area, it's going to be a little hotter. It is. Okay? Second, there's plenty of poor people in Appalachia that would probably trade their cooler climate for a job over in the city. I'm just letting you know.
No, I don't think they would trade their job.
Probably not. They love their
They
holler.
get free food.
And they love their holler. They're not gonna.
And they love their holler.
Prosecutors deny allegations that they fabricated 47 pages of notes from an FBI informant to entrap Lori Loughlin and other parents in college admissions scandal. A lot of people pled guilty to that, but this lady, Lori Loughlin, she was the lady on Full House. I used to think she was hot for an older lady when I was a little kid.
Does she actually get like time for that?
No, she's still on trial and stuff. But
do you think she'll actually go to prison?
They're saying that they're going for it because they were counting on all these people. Like most of them have pled guilty and just took a plea bargain. But she is the one that's actually fighting it. So they're like really going for her throat. But I don't know, man. She's a fighter. Federal prosecutors have denied allegations that investigators deliberately withheld and fabricated evidence to entrap actress Lori Loughlin or other wealthy parents who are charged in the scandal. What's funny, though, is that if she wins this argument and they throw it out, the ones that pled guilty, they could try to appeal, but more likely they stay guilty. They still have a felony on their record. So sometimes it pays to fight if you have the money to fight. That's the problem with our judicial system. I love our judicial system and the fact that you are innocent until proven guilty. But in order to prove you're innocent, even though they're supposed to prove you guilty, in order to show your innocence, it usually costs way too much money. And that's why I like the military justice system. You automatically get a free attorney. I think, yes, that would increase the money that states have to pay, but I think every defendant should automatically get an attorney. And then if they want to pay for another attorney, they can do that just like in the military system. But in the military system, it only takes a majority to convict, which I think is unconstitutional. Whereas in the normal system, in fact, Supreme Court just ruled that you have to have a unanimous jury. So, let's see here. Navy recommends reinstatement. Reinstatement of that Captain Crozier, the one who sounded the alarm. I think that's a good move. Not because he was right, he should get a reprimand still, but because he had he was really caring for his troops, but he gave out sensitive information to other countries about the health of an entire ship. A ship might have 5,000 sailors on it, so that's very dangerous. We only have a finite amount of ships that are operating at any given time. But to lose his job over it, man, that's borderline, and it's been horrible politically. What do you think? You don't think so? I mean,
no, I don't think he should have given any information about his ship out. Like
totally agree. He didn't purposely give it out, as he would say. He had emailed people who were trying to that could have helped him, but that was the wrong venue, and he knew full well that it could have come out. I don't know how I feel about him being reinstated. I think it should send a message, but he was a popular commander and he was looking out for his troops.
No,
it's been bad politically.
I don't think that he should be like fired or taken out of position. I just think that it wasn't a very wise decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're putting people in danger when you do stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, talk to him for a second. Let me fix my audio.
I think I'll continue that the rest of the day.
What are you going to continue? Sorry, I missed everything.
I said I think I'm going to continue my beer drinking the rest of the day.
The rest of the day? Okay, good.
For my Saturday.
It is your Saturday, and you only get every other Saturday off. Sorry about that, folks. I had to actually fix my audio, and I had to get another adapter to do that. I was having some feedback in my ear, so part of being live. So
anyway, so back to our discussion. I think I'll continue my drinking the rest of the day, and then I'll take all day tomorrow to kind of like recover, I guess, before I go back to work.
Yeah, but you don't have hangovers, though. You're drinking Mick Ultra, so you take it nice and slow. I don't want people to think.
Sorry, I dropped my phone. Anyways, first of all, Mick Ultra is a deadly little thing. You don't even know.
A deadly
It can
little thing.
sneak up really fast.
Oh my Lord, deadly. All right, so we're back to so Captain Crozier, moving on. Cuomo, the coronavirus that came to New York did not come from China. It came from Europe. We talked about this a little second ago. Come on. It had a layover in Europe, but that's it. It came from China. Anybody who's trying to blame Trump or any other government or any other reason, you're an idiot. And this is where Bill Maher, he's my favorite liberal, he took it on. Blame it, man. Blame where it came from. In fact, I urge every country to send the bill to China. You should be opening up lawsuits. You should be crippling China for a while so that they
I already
learn.
said that. I think they should wipe out our entire debt. I don't know, we have this trillion in debt to them, or 3 trillion or whatever it is, whatever. I don't keep up with that stuff. But I still think that, they should wipe that out, and they should be indebted to us, not us to them anymore.
Well, yeah, and it's going to cost us a lot of money, and we are the number one economy, but it's going to cost everybody else. The way the United States economy goes, the way the rest of the world's economy goes, and I'm telling you straight up, this is China's fault, nobody else's fault. Send the bill to them, and if they learn the hard way, then they'll learn to lock down either their wet markets or their laboratories and make sure nothing like this ever happens again. Because I guarantee you that if the United States was at fault here, they'd be asking us to be paying and footing the bill for the rest of the world.
Of course they would. That's why I don't understand why we're just letting them off the hook. We should be charging them for this crap.
Good news is that elective surgeries are set to resume. We talked about this in the first hour with complications and concerns. Bottom line, we have to resume these surgeries because a lot of them, they might be elective per se, but there's people out there suffering. Let's just think of, people with knee replacements, shoulder replacements.
My own father.
Right.
He needs his other knee done.
Those that need a mastectomy.
This is considered elective, but he can barely walk.
Breast cancer people that might need mastectomies or plastic surgery to recover from the mastectomy. There's all types of things that are out there. We think of plastic surgeons as rich people things, but there's elective surgeries for all types of things. Okay?
Yep, I agree.
This right here is, remember that, what was that movie long time ago, and the guy was going to die, and so he left all these notes and stuff for his wife.
Oh, P.S. I love you.
P.S. I love you. This is kind of like a P.S. I love you moment here. So you'll like this.
Cute movie.
You've given me the best life I could have ever asked for. Distraught wife whose husband, 32, died of coronavirus before she could get to the hospital bedside finds goodbye message to her and their children on his phone. It says on there, and I got a picture on here of the couple and their little kids. Looks like they're close to twins. He says, I love you guys with all my heart, and you give me the best life I could have ever asked for. I am so lucky. It makes me so proud to be your husband and the father to Braden and Penny. Katie, you are the most beautiful, caring, nurturing person I've ever met. You are truly one of a kind. Make sure you live life with happiness and that same passion that made me fall in love with you. Seeing you be the best mom to the kids is the greatest thing I've ever experienced. And then he died. Apparently he died from cardiac arrest caused by coronavirus in the hospital in Connecticut on Wednesday. His wife, Katie, 33, was searching his phone for pictures of the children when she discovered the note addressed to her 2-year-old son.
So sad.
Braden, and 10-month-old daughter, Penelope. Called him Penny. I like that name, Penelope. I love you guys with all my heart, he says, and all that stuff. So apparently he was saying his goodbyes, but hadn't sent it yet. She found it. Thought you would love that story.
No, it's really sad. I think I would just completely fall to pieces if something ever happened to you.
Yeah, somebody would, I guess. I guess it'd have to be you. All right, here's hypocrisy.
It would be me.
I don't know if it's hypocrisy. I don't know what her stance is, but Texas mayor faces $2,000 fine and is forced to apologize for breaking her own lockdown to get her nails done. Her own lockdown. Beaumont Mayor Becky Ames was pictured at the nail bar in the city on Tuesday. The DA's office said Thursday it is investigating the circumstances of her trip. Nail salons are among the businesses ordered by Ames to close. So she ordered them to be closed, but she gets special treatment because she's the rich and the powerful.
Rich and famous. So where did this take place? At her house?
No, apparently the nail bar opened for her. I don't know.
So she just called ahead and been like, hey, you need to open this nail salon for me.
I'm the mayor. You'll be okay.
Okay, I have seen a lot of funny memes like about nails though, like people using like big boxes and then you stick your nail through. Or the funniest one was from my friend Anita at work. She showed me a meme where like people were putting their hands through like the mail slots, you know, like in their door.
Yeah.
And I said, I think it'd be a good idea. And she's like, oh, I don't have a mail slot. I was like, well, we need to install one ASAP. But yeah, I think it's completely hypocritical.
Okay, but why can't these things be open? Like, you know, like
It's
if you go to like the pharmacist, they have like these. They put like either glass or shower curtain up, and you can pass stuff through. Why can't you?
Personally, I don't know why they're not open, but I think it's hypocritical if like somebody with money, a governor or somebody, is getting their nails done when other people aren't. Just like Governor Whitmore, or as you would say, Whitmer, whatever, in Michigan, how she like, oh, she can have her lawn done, but you know, we can't pay for a lawn.
All right, we don't know that she got her lawn done. I was guessing that.
She's got her lawn done.
It's the governor's mansion, so they're state essential employees.
She's got her freaking lawn done.
Bottom line, though, is that she's an idiot for ordering them closed. Because I tell
Why
you
is there
what,
always a higher standard for people with money, though?
I know, because they're freaking narcissists. Here's my other thing, right? This mayor, have you been to? I mean, of course you've been to a nail salon. The fumes alone will kill that virus, man. I don't know why.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, I need to just smell the nail salon. Just like pools at hotels. I don't understand. Why the hell are you shutting down pools? I want to go to a hotel and just, I thought, okay, when it first happened, I said, I want to just take my kids to a hotel for a couple nights because I get off work like maybe 3 days in a row, right? Just want to take my kids to a hotel and we'll go swimming. All the hotel pools are closed.
Yep, because they don't want people congregating, but that's stupid. Chlorine kills coronavirus.
It doesn't make any sense.
Not a daggone lick of sense, Whitley.
Gyms, close all the gyms you want. Pools.
Yeah, gyms are nasty, man. There's not the only thing nastier than a gym. The only two things nastier than a gym are hospitals and childcare centers or schools. Yep. Donald Trump signs $483 billion coronavirus aid package into law, then says he won't sign the Postal Service rescue unless Amazon pays quadruple for deliveries. A lot of people say he's got something against Amazon. Well, one, he should, because they own the Washington Post, who are very biased. And two, the only way the Postal Service should be delivering for Amazon is if they're at least breaking even. Remember, it's a quasi-government thing, so they're not really supposed to make profit. It should be nonprofit, but they should be breaking even on all these deliveries because Amazon has actually put a lot of mom and pops out of business. However, they've also put a lot of mom and pops in business because they've evened the playing field. If you get on their Amazon marketplace, you get to participate. And, you know, so I agree with Trump here. Pay enough to where it's cost effective for the Postal Service to be doing all that. If not, contract with UPS or FedEx. You notice that you don't see a lot of FedEx, I don't think, does a lot of it. Back in the day, Amazon Prime was on FedEx.
Yeah. It was all FedEx. You see more UPS. USPS, the brown trucks, right?
No, UPS is private. The Postal Service. United States Postal Service. USPS.
I just know when I get Amazon, it's the brown truck.
Really?
Yeah.
Not me. It's always the Postal Service.
Every once in a while, it kind of goes back and forth. I don't know. I see the big brown truck pull into my neighbor's driveway all the time, or it's the little white truck. That's all I know.
A lot of times, because they put it like in your mailbox, they like stuff it in there.
Sometimes.
This is crazy. Mecca, which is usually like almost scary looking, just because it's not part of our culture, but the millions of people that pack into Mecca in order to do the Ramadan thing, it is like empty now. Totally empty. At your garage door? I did too. Yeah. Mecca is deserted during Ramadan as Muslims around the country are forced to celebrate in isolation due to coronavirus. That's what it usually looks like. That's how empty it is now. Mecca is like that. It's kind of like Mormons have to visit the temple, I guess, one time before they die, or that's what they should do. Same thing with Islam. So they go to Saudi Arabia to the Hajj, I think is what they call it, and see that's the central courtyard, totally empty, totally empty. Here's another thing for you. Tiger King's Joe Exotic killed more than 100 tigers would hit cubs if they misbehaved and was afraid of most of his big cats. As zoo employees say, several would have eaten him alive if given the chance. I never got into this story, but you actually watched it. I
love Tiger King. I get my whole family to watch it. They watch like the first episode. It's like the best thing ever.
It's ludicrous. There's no question he was murdered. Lawyer for Carol Baskin's ex-husband says he was killed and he would never have left the cats he loved. Carol Baskin's first husband, Don Lewis, was murdered and would not have left his big cat.
Husband whacked him.
No, do it.
Convince me that it didn't happen.
Let's start over.
Oh, look what I just got in the mail. Give me that thing.
Start over.
It says Carol Baskin killed her husband, whacked him. Can't convince me that it didn't happen. Fed him to tigers, they snacking. What's happening? Carol Baskin.
That's so stupid.
It's hilarious. Look what I just got in the mail.
What did you get? Ah, make America great again. Trump.
Yay.
All right. Netflix downplays concerns that its mind-boggling pipeline of original content will run dry during a pandemic and turns to Iceland to film new shows while Hollywood is shuttered. Good idea, man. You talk about using Netflix. See, that's the beauty of capitalism. Anybody else would be like, oh, we can't make new content because Hollywood shut down or Georgia shut down. That's where they film a lot of stuff now is Georgia. Canada shut down. Netflix, they say, hey, man, we're going to go to Iceland. Iceland's good. Netflix announced this week that it has finished filming the majority of movies and series due for release this year, playing down concerns that its flow of hit shows such as Tiger King could run dry. That is a concern. Oh, man, this is crazy, man. If only you could see this. Oil at a standstill. Footage shows dozens of tankers anchored off the coast of California with nowhere to unload their supplies. That's why oil is like less than $1 a barrel, or was. I don't see it translating to our gas prices, man. I went and got gas the other day, and yeah, it was $1.99, but damn, $1.99 when oil's $1 a barrel? That just doesn't seem fair to me. I think they're price gouging me.
They are.
You know?
Most places are, I think, right now.
Yeah, there definitely aren't any specials on toilet paper or anything.
No. Oh my God, we finally found toilet paper.
Scored.
For the love of God.
You know, I found that too, right? The lady was in the self-checkout of Walmart, and supposedly Walmart wasn't rationing, but apparently they do. So she calls the lady at self-checkout. I was like, hey, you know, this one won't ring. Like, oh, it's because you already have one. It won't allow you to ring. You have to make a whole. You could still buy it, but you'd have to finish out that transaction and get it. And I was like, hey, I'll take it. I need it. And she's like, oh, here you go. And so I scored some bounty.
Oh, thanks.
So,
instead of just leaving it on the shelf.
My family, I don't care. Hey, had she left it on the shelf, I never found it. My family is now up to 3 little squares per wipe now. I was rationing down to 2 squares a wipe, 3 wipes maximum. That would have been 6 squares. But you guys are all up to 3. Congratulations. You guys can thank that lady. So 3 times 3, you get 9 squares now per sitting. So the demand for oil has dropped due to stay-at-home orders around the world. Pumps are still extracting from the ground. Why don't they just shut the pumps off, man? Wouldn't that make more sense? Like, yeah, let's just shut these off. But instead, there's like tons of oil tankers just sitting out in the Gulf waiting to unload, and they can't load. Oh, man, this douchebag here. Hey, do you remember My Name is Earl, the fat guy? Ethan Suplee? He
lost a lot of weight, right?
Yeah, that's just the story here.
And he got humongous.
Like, he's like
tough.
Yeah, big arms and everything. I want to know, he had to have had surgery for all the extra skin, though, because he's got like, he doesn't take his shirt off, but he's definitely got a chest and like looks like he has a 6-pack. He looks totally different.
Nate, don't be jealous. You're still hotter than he is.
Yeah, but he's got a better bod. But I got the dad bod still.
I like the dad bod. Okay, guys, the dad bod is freaking in. Stop getting your weird, nasty, roid rage muscles. There's nothing cuter than a dad bod.
That's because she's in her 30s now. So
no, it's true.
Chris Cuomo is like a boiling pot, the guy said during a no-mask Easter confrontation with cyclists. Remember, Chris, we talked about him a little earlier. This little douchebag, CNN must be so starving for ratings because nobody watches him anymore that they made this video of him coming out of the basement and like, but none of his kids were surprised to see him. His wife wasn't that happy to see him. Like, you'd think, oh, Daddy, I miss you, you know. No, because it was a fake-ass video. Why? He was out on Easter checking out some of his undeveloped property out on like Staten Island or something, and a guy noticed him and said, "Hey," and now Fredo here, Chris Cuomo, he goes off on people, especially when they call him Fredo, because Rush Limbaugh was calling him that apparently, and apparently he's like really a hothead, right? Like roid rage, and so the guy says, "Hey, your brother, the governor, he's the czar of the czar for coronavirus in this state, and you're violating his own thing about unnecessary travel and everything else. Like, I can do whatever I want. You get the hell out of me." And then,
yeah, because he has money.
Yeah, but two things, man. The guy said he was like a boiling pot. Like, he was like progressively just getting angrier and angrier. Like, you could see it. You're like, dude, just chill out, right? I'm just questioning why you're out and about, you know? Second, don't make fake ass videos like you're just now re-emerging from the basement for the first time ever, if you've already been out and almost gotten a fight on Easter Sunday. You know what I'm saying? The holiest day of the year for Christians.
And he was like sweating, and his kids. Okay, so this takes us back to like the last show, right? Like where Kareem was like, if my kids saw me, they would be like jumping on me, right?
Right.
Your kids, like, they miss you, they're hugging you. His kids are like, pound it with the elbow.
No, they didn't do it. He was doing this like, and this is for you.
Oh,
like the hang loose, yeah. And this is for you. He did this is for you. Oh, and you got the camera. This is for you. First of all, dude, that's so 80s and 90s. That's such a
Nobody's
douchey
falling
thing.
for your bullshit. Let's be real.
And nobody does the hang loose anymore. Maybe actually like servers really
maybe
still do
Hawaii,
that.
right? Hawaii, California, got it. But like on the East Coast, nobody is going.
Like if I walked up like, "Hey man, how you doing?" People are like, "Are you trying to call me?" I mean, you're a douche, man. I don't know. All right, moving on because we're running out of time. We're already past 2 hours. Oh, yes, I do love golf now. I know you can't see it, but LU Beauty, Golfy Lucy Robson, you can Google her real quick, shows off new simulator to help her practice. She's from the UK. Hot little thing. My wife does allow me to do celebrity crushes. I have no chance. But, man, I wish I was showing you this video. Anyways, here's a video of her. She is actually going to take the ball.
I can see her.
And she's going to take the ball and she's going to bounce it on her club and then hit it into a roll of toilet paper on the thing. Let me show the viewers.
Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the motherfucking house bored and I'm bored in the
Boom! That's what I'm talking about. Not only because she's blonde and cute, fake blonde by the way, but man, she hit it like a little toilet paper roll right on the wall.
My husband married the wrong color hair.
That's not true. I love my wife, my brown-eyed girl.
I have brown hair.
But yeah, I mean that's talent right there, dude. And finally,
I got this. Hold my beer.
Yeah, I got we did put a little golf net and a simulator out in the garage. Although I'm still waiting for me to make $1 million on here so I could buy a better simulator. But where we do hit balls in the garage.
So subscribe to YouTube.
Yes, please subscribe to YouTube.
I need a simulator.
Yes, but and Whitley is just as good or maybe a little better than me at golf, which is sad. She's a natural athlete. I wasn't race athletic.
Better. Just a little bit better.
Right. So, but I don't know where I was going. So, anyways, next story. Final story, by the way. Mike Tyson's first wife, Robin Givens, had a dalliance with Brad Pitt while they were still together. Apparently, Mike Tyson's 3 wives include one he caught having sex with Brad Pitt. Caught him having sex with Brad Pitt. Okay, now this takes me back to the movie Hangover when he's singing, "I can feel it coming in the air tonight." Pow! And he knocks over that bearded dude. Dude, can you imagine back in the day? Now, Mike Tyson's old now, okay? But back in his day when he was not scared of anybody and would bite an ear off, if he came home and found you in bed with his wife, can you imagine how scared Brad Pitt probably was?
Heck no.
I hope Brad Pitt was packing a gun that day. Like, "Yo, dude, get off me. I ain't trying to shoot you, but man, if you come towards me." That dude
Unless he's kind of
give-
like maybe into that.
like a little,
Like maybe he's like, Brad Pitt.
maybe he likes Brad Pitt too.
Hello, Brad.
And I was like, hello, Brad. I don't know.
Hello, Brad.
Brad, like I can't do his name, but he talks different. So, anyways, Mike Tyson's 3 wives, included one he caught having sex with Brad Pitt, one who's a doctor, and an ex-con spouse named Kiki. So he hasn't done well with wives. Does she, if you look at her, I know you can't see her, man. I wish you could see my screen. She looks a lot, Robin Givens looks a lot like, who's the America's Next Top Model lady?
Want to be on top? Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks. She has a lot of the same features as Tyra Banks. She is hot. Whoever this. I know Robin Givens. Wasn't she the girl on the Cosby wife? And I know that they got divorced because he like raped her or he.
How do you rape your own wife?
All right, be woke. You can rape your own wife. If she says no, it's still no.
Oh, okay? Sorry. I'm not woke.
You know, but I forgot what he went to prison for. I gotta look that up. Why did Tyson went to prison for his rape conviction? Prison was over. Oh, it was the Miss Black Rhode Island.
I was gonna say, Nate, I'll never convict you of rape.
So it wasn't his wife. It was the Miss Black Rhode Island. I didn't know that they had like a separate Rhode Island, but I mean that was the '90s, so maybe they did.
Like race, like.
Yeah, it was like the Miss Black Rhode Island. They had their own pageant apparently. I don't know. I thought it was just all like Miss Rhode Island. I thought that's how it was. Yeah, I mean I don't care if you're black or white.
You're pretty.
Meghan Markle's hot, and she's half black, I know. And Robin Givens looks black, and she's hot. I mean, so I don't know why you need a separate one, but
okay, whatever works for you.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, that was our 2-hour and 10-minute show. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. Replays will be available on YouTube. If you do go to YouTube to watch us, make sure that you hit the subscribe button because I need to get 100. You know, someday I think we're going to look back and be like, we were begging for 100, but I do need that 100 just so I can get that euro. After that 100, if you don't
seriously, it takes literally 2 seconds. Go freaking subscribe.
And it's free. And you will mean the world to me. So I am going to end this broadcast now. Thank you for joining us. Replays will be at YouTube, also on Podbeans, Pandora, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast. It will also be streamed that way.
Grab a beer and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yes, because we're going to do some more drinking. Day drinking,
yes,
baby.
Yes, we are. Bye.
Bye.